Hi, welcome to One Word a Day. I'm Sophie, your pilot into the universe of Chinese. We are going to continue our exploration into this ancient language, my native tongue. And I'm fortunate enough to have a second language to now introduce to English speakers of what I know about this language. And of course, as a language user, I don't automatically think about the language itself. By sharing with you all about my native language, I was able to look at my own native tongue with a perspective or critical thinking that's beyond my original default setting. Now I'm like intentionally unpack it for you so that it actually is a discovery for me. Okay, so 勇 is a concept in both cultures, I guess across cultures, for a culture, which means a group of people to survive, which means I'm sure there are different tribes, different cultures throughout the history of the evolution of human society, right? Some survive better than others, not only the environment as well, but the culturally, like what enabled this culture to survive. So 勇, bravery. This is a quality that is valued in both the East and West. If we super simplify all the world cultures into this two, which is English speaking, Chinese speaking, another super simplification. I mean, I'm so sorry for all the cultures around the world, but if we are super simplifying, East, West, both have this character in their language. That means this concept is important in both cultures. So of course, 勇 in translation, we can translate this bravery as brave, courageous, or valiant. There may be in English nuances between the three versions, but in Chinese, there's no distinction. You don't need to worry about it if it's translated as bravery, courageous, or valiant. So here, 勇, as you can see, is made up of two parts. And they're both looking kind of interesting, right? Like visually, they look interesting. And one of them is describing a bell. The other one is, I translate as power, but really it came from the most frequently used farming tool, that's rake or plow, that used as a tool to loosen up the soil, right? So that it has air. Well, I don't know about agriculture, but this tool was commonly used and it shows up a lot in the Chinese culture because it's built on agrarian society, right? So for language users to understand, to be relatable, it has to be something commonly seen and used, right? So this plow or raking thing, this tool was commonly used, like I guess by all the households, whoever does farming have to come across or use this tool. So you can see three sharp edges. It doesn't mean the tool itself physically only have three, because it doesn't really making sense to have only three. When you plow through the ground, as many as possible, right? As much as you can pull it through the ground level. And then you want to widen the footage that you actually plow through. So this plow, three simply means multiple. So when we have studied this language for a while, we understand that while the language does represent the physical world as realistically as possible, sometimes it does have this abstraction, because humans, we do have this amazing ability to see things not literally represented. So again, here, three sharp edges of that plow doesn't mean the plow structure itself is made up of only three. It just means multitudes of that. And now you see this here is the connector or the handle for it to attach to either an animal, that's an ox or horse, or to human labor to pull it, right? Somebody got to connect the power to it. So this is just a mechanical structure to plow through the ground. So again, this plow then was used to as an icon to symbolize muscle power, because that's the most commonly seen and easily relatable for everybody in that language environment, to use it as muscle power. Okay, eventually just power. Of course, power has all kinds of power, right? Economic, financial, political power, all kinds of power that you can use. But here, the essence came from the muscle power. That's farming activity, plowing through the field. Okay, the left bell looks a little bit more complicated than the plow structure, but it is, again, a depiction of the physical world. So if you ever visit a museum of East Asia history that exhibit some of the artifacts from before, there were this cast iron bell structure that highly decorated with either icons or patterns or something on the surface to tell a story or significance about it. And then this bell oftentimes will have this hook that's hooking onto something so that it can be suspended in the middle of the air, because when the bell makes a sound, the metal piece part cannot touch anything. The sound have to travel through the air, right? We all have that, basic physics. Then this hook is the suspension, the very end of the suspension. Then you may ask, why bell plus power means bravery? Okay, the power portion we can understand, right? Because for you to exhibit bravery, you have to show a certain level of physical power, right? So this power goes to, like, if it is a military maneuver, most of the time bravery means military related battlefield scene. That muscular power is the, like, by definition, yes. But the bell is an essential concept to bravery, because a lot of times you have the muscle, it's not enough. You have to have the guts to do it, right? And how? Because in a battlefield, imagine you're tasked to go out and kill another human. It's not natural. At least, I mean, in our today's world, it's hard to imagine to kill another person, right? But in the battlefield, in that context, you're tasked or required to do so. And this bell in ancient military, battlefield situation, this bell was used as a call or a rally to pump up your energy level, to pluck your courage that normally you don't have that. So basically to break the barrier of you as a human, so that you can become almost like a beastly to go out and kill. It's not something that we day to day would go there, right? So you have to have this break of boundary. So this bell serves as a signal to all the soldiers out there in the field to charge forward, to, on one hand, not fear for their own lives, right? On the other hand, not fear of killing another human being. So this bravery in ancient battlefield gotta be depicted both on the muscular power and the bell inspired spirit to transform. Regularly, probably as a farmhand, as a farmer in a village, but that's in peacetime. In wartime, this farmer got transformed into a soldier, and that bell got to instill this soldierly quality into that warrior. So that's the definition of bravery. And I want to show you the awesome terracotta. I visited there once, and I still remember the awe in me because it's so massive. Over here, it's just show you a corner of the huge tomb. So as you know, this is first emperor in China who amassed like a supreme power to rule over vast piece of land, a lot of population. And it actually is a unified of like at least 7 smaller kingdoms, which got their own language and customs and their own head of the leader of the country. And then he wiped out everybody else and unified that. That's an amazing process in itself. And after he died, I guess before he died, he built up this tomb so that he has an underground army to still fight for him. So this is the Qin Shi Huang, and I want to show you the soldiers over here depicted that exhibit this transformation of regular humans, farmhand, or in peacetime, whatever profession they have, high percentage would be they're farmers. But then in wartime, they gotta be transformed. They gotta have this bravery in them to be able to fight, to sacrifice their life, right? So that's bravery, how it's made up. And you can see the simplified Chinese actually stack it up, have the bell on top of the power. But in any case, it is bell power that instill us, enable us to fight. And that's the definition of bravery. Cash into the currency of thinking by one word a day with Sophie. See you another day.